Hello, Miss. So the assessment plan designed by our group chose the subject of mathematics with a curriculum that allows students to recognize and name common geometric shapes, and the program was conducted with Year 1 students. There are 3 learning outcomes were designed based on the developmental stage of Year 1 students and the content of geometric figure taught at that level. First is identify 5 geometric shapes in the composite figure. Next is categorize different shapes according to the properties of symmetrical and asymmetrical figures. And the last is match 5 shapes they have learned to the items that they can find in the daily life. All 3 learning outcomes belong to the cognitive domain, and the learning level are 1, 4, and 4, respectively. According to learning outcomes we divide 3 learning tasks corresponding to each learning outcomes. The first task requires students identify individual geometric shapes within a composite figure and write the name and number of geometric shapes. And the second task asks students to categorize geometric figures according to the symmetrical and asymmetrical figure and draw the figure in the table. The last task requires students through connecting lines with corresponding geometric shapes by recognizing geometric shapes in life. And all 3 assessment tasks are based on the 3 assessment principles of cognitive alignment, validity, and reliability. So let's hear how our group developed the assessment tasks based on the 3 principles and how they fit into the learning outcomes we developed and the level of learning it was in.
There are 3 principles of constructive alignment, validity, and reliability. The first principle I want to prove for my evaluation plan is constructive alignment. The first learning result we set is to identify 5 geometric shapes in the finger. Based on this learning result, we designed a task that students need to write the name of the individual geometry in the combination and the number of combination fingers they contain. This topic can help students' geometrical thinking and imagination. At the same time, you can also exercise your logical thinking ability and problem-solving ability. Students find out their differences and find their combinations, which can improve their memory of geometrical shapes. Writing down the number of each finger can help students clarify their ideas.
In addition to constructive alignment, there are 2 other principles for assessment plan: validity and replayability. As for the learning outcomes 1 and task 1, first of all, we need to ensure that students can clearly understand and identify each shapes and make a correct judgment and give them a number, which requires them to have sufficient accuracy and reliability in identification and naming. Secondly, students need to combine these shapes in different ways. This task cultivates students' observation proactivity and evaluation ability, and also promotes the shapes discrimination ability and logical thinking ability.
According to the learning outcomes and the level of learning, we design our assessment task. So now we want to justify the reason why the item we set is relative to them. Task 1's learning outcome is designed on the cognitive level 1, domain remember, and the identify is also included in this field. At this level, students can recall facts and basic concepts. First, students participate in this recognition program to enhance their memory and the recognition skill by this gene grasping the properties of different shapes. In addition, through a number of computer graphics, students record the features of each other's specific set shape to strengthen the memory.
The second learning result we set is classified differently according to the nature of symmetric and asymmetrical graphics. This is a very useful training for classifying numbers in shapes. It trains thinking ability and classification ability by drawing shapes on the table and recording their differences and similarities. This process of classification and observation help us find the rules between shapes and improve them. According to level 4, the reason why we collect concepts is that this topic not only simply classifies it, but also students think about the nature of different geometrical shapes, and through comparative analysis and trying different methods, we can think more flexibly. Normal speaking, I think this is a very good exercise. Our understanding of concepts has contributed our team's communication ability and logical thinking ability. So the tasks we design according to level 4 in the cognitive field are consistent with the learning result 2.
Next, according to learning outcomes 2 and task 2, The validity and the replayability of the shape classification of members depends on whether the classification method is considered, and the logical validity refers to the classification method. Whether its accuracy reflects the attributes of the shape depends on whether we can achieve the correct results under different circumstances. In terms of effectiveness, the classification method can find important features of shapes. If we can clearly define these features and find the mentions difference between various categories, then this method is effective. Of course, we need to adopt a variety of classification methods to ensure that all situations have to be taken into account. Secondly, I think that in terms of replayability, even in different situations at different times, we should have a correct and consistent judgment. To sum up, I think effectiveness and replayability are important factors that need to be considered in the correct classifications of shapes of different attributes, so as to better understand the shape characteristics and improve our work.
Next, the learning outcomes for Text 2 is centered on the cognitive level 4 domain of analyzing. Additionally, coded grades is contained in this field. At this level, students can draw connection between ideas. First of all, students need to correctly identify and distinguish the features of the graph according to the symmetry of the shape, the number of edges, and the other features. In addition, students need to understand the differentiation of attributes through comparison.
Learning results 3 is to make the 5 shapes they learn similar to those that students can find in their daily lives. Therefore, the task requires students to understand daily geometry. And for the shapes in life, it increases the practicality to design problems with patterns and shapes. These are related to daily life and make questions interesting. According to level 4, it can improve students' analytical ability. Design patterns and shape matching can focus on improving students' analytical ability, improving their ability to find difference in daily life. It can improve their creativity and encourage students to observe patterns and shapes in their daily lives, have a deeper understanding. I think this topic can also cultivate their practical ability and improve their ability to solve practical problems. The task we set according to level 4 of the cognitive field consists with the learning results 3.
Then go to the learning outcomes 3 and task 3. First, this topic is that students learn more close to reality, enhance students' understanding of this concept and application ability to enhance their interest and participation in learning. At the same time, I think that by observing and comparing different patterns and shapes in life, students can generally exploit their classification and discriminate ability, so as to improve their logical thinking ability and observation. In summary, I think this topic has high effectiveness and replayability, which can improve students' cognitive ability and practical application ability. To summarize, the 3 learning outcomes with development and their corresponding tasks are all considered with the principles of replayability and validity.
Cognitive level 4 domain of analyzing is the focus of Task 3's learning outcomes. In addition, this field contains the word match. First, students need to think critically, compare the nature and the characteristics of graphics, and match the geometric pattern encountered in daily life to enhance their analytical skills. Secondly, students need to understand the characteristics of objects in advance and enhance their analysis and understanding skills by matching them with reflection and exploration. Consequently, the item we developed is related our learning outcomes and the level of learning.
In summary, we have developed corresponding assessment tasks through the learning outcomes and its learning domain and level of learning. The 3 learning outcomes and their corresponding tasks we design strictly follow the principle of constructive alignment, reliability, and validity of the assessment program. We hope that our program will be a rewarding learning experience for our Year 1 students, stimulating their interest and desire to explore geometric shapes. Thank you for listening.